Start off with thanking you and participating in this course, in this event. I'm going to be all over the map with all these videos. I'm going to jump between topics and techniques and everything else in between. I'm going to probably have this voice or volume level throughout the course, so just so you know. But anyways, let's jump back and forth between this PowerPoint. And the first question is, and the first appropriate video or part of this course should be, where do you begin? And I mean, if you look at Google and you type in email marketing, we get slammed with all sorts of information about the topic. It really is it's an overwhelming amount of information. There is numerous software that you can waste hours, days trying to figure out. There's numerous techniques, blackhat techniques. It's really just this huge plethora of mayhem, unless you have some sort of direction. And that's kind of the whole point of this course, is to walk you through, you know, step by step, specific methods, or specific ways to make money at blackhat email marketing. So I'm going to jump to a definition on Wikipedia. And I'm not going to be reading definitions the entire time. This is important though. Email marketing is directly marketing a commercial message to a group of people using email. In its broadest sense, every email sent to a potential or current customer could be considered email marketing. It usually involves using emails to send ads, request business, or solicit sales or donations, and is meant to build loyalty, trust, or brand awareness. Well, we're not really going to talk about that definition of email marketing. This is my own definition of blackhat, which is putting a spin on that previous definition. Blackhat email marketing is the art of sending emails, usually in bulk, through deceptive means, which usually involves a deceptive message for the purposes of making money, or monetization. I've heard a few different ways of pronouncing that. They basically involve 3 steps. Deceptive means to send the emails, a deceptive email message, and an ulterior motive. And they don't necessarily have to include all those 3 qualities, but it's pretty clear that there's, you know, when it comes to black hat and white hat email marketing, they're very black and white. I mean, if you receive a spam message, you know it's spam. If you've bought a pair of shorts from the Gap and you submitted your email and then you received an email from them, you know, 2 weeks later for some special, then they're playing by the rules. One thing I'll talk about a little later with the PCT formula is ways to trick the user into thinking it's white hat. So we'll go through a few of those techniques later in the course. Black hat email marketing involves these 4 steps. If we could crunch everything down, all the forum posts, all the videos, all the blogs, all the websites that contain information, it's basically these 4 things. You're scraping emails, you're cleaning your emails, and I'll go more. I've got a whole video dedicated to cleaning emails because that's actually a very critical point that a lot of people do not pay attention to. And just not to sidetrack too much, but if you don't have a clean email list and you start sending through, let's say you send through a third party like Constant Contact or some other online source, what will happen is if your bounce rate is too high, they'll immediately suspect you of spamming and close your accounts. So cleaning emails is very important. Not to mention spam traps. Spam traps are critical. I mean, everybody moving forward from this point should be making a collection of spam traps, their own personal collection, and holding on to it like, well, not like their firstborn, but it's very important to start developing your own suppression list to scrub against, because you don't want to be emailing the wrong people. It could instantly shut down your operation, or one of your multiple operations, which you'll be doing by the time you finish this course. But we'll get into cleaning emails later. And of course, you have to offer something. So if it's a product or service, you need that funnel or channel to make money, whatever it may be. You may be going through a CPA. You may be selling speakers. This could be completely revolved around your business, and you've only got one product, and that's perfectly fine. Finally, the big key, bulk send emails. I guess that should be bulk sending of emails, but I can't tell you how many times people get in touch with me on Skype and say, how do I bulk send? How do I send 1 million a day? How do I send 1 million in an hour? And it's like saying, how do I fly to the moon? There's no one sentence answer. It doesn't mean it's complex. It doesn't mean that it's difficult to learn. And later in this course, I'm going to show you different avenues that you can take for mailing, whether it's going through email accounts and proxies to remain completely anonymous, or it's going through an online solution or server-based solution like Interspire and rotating through IPs, or going directly through white hat servers, or what are considered to be white hat servers, and respecting their limits through what's been coined as the GoDaddy method. And then a little side note on that, the GoDaddy method can be used on any server, really. So this is actually what I like to coin the Grand Slam concept. Actually, I can take all the credit for this. I think Johnny H., which some of you may have come to know, came up with this concept, and it actually makes a lot of sense. And I have some words here to go with. There we go, and I hope the text is okay for you guys to read. So obviously the first base, or the first component of blackhat email marketing, is to scrape your emails to get lists. And I'm probably going to have a supplementary course in a month or two free to all of you guys, just to talk about specific concept on using social email extractor. And I'm not going to really get into social email extractor with this course, because as far as I'm concerned, if you want emails, then that's the tool that you can use to get a ton of emails in no time. Cleaning emails, I do have a video excuse me, completely on cleaning emails. I touched briefly on it not too long ago, and I've got a whole video that goes kind of step by step what you want to do to have a clean email list after you've scraped, and a few different sources and programs that you can use to outsource your suppression, or have someone else run their suppression list against your list. So what you're left with is a very, very, very clean list of emails. Obviously, third base is sending, and I touched on that a second ago. We will talk about different ways that you can mass send emails or bulk send emails. And just the middle there, it says your offer. That seemed like the appropriate place to put it, and obviously the home run or grand slam is going to be money or profit. Okay, well, we kind of went through this in the last slide. Offer something, scraping emails, social email extractor, clean emails, future video. offer something CPA or your own products, bulk sending through various options. Now, this is just a brief overview on where to begin, but the core competency that I want you to get through is that grand slam, is the capacity to scrape, clean, and send. Scraping you can do with C. I'm going to show you different ways that you can clean, different sources and software that you can clean through. And I'm going to show you various ways to bulk send emails as well. But that's not enough. I've seen guys that have had jobs, 9 to 5, and they're trying. It's bugging them. They want to succeed. So this is my own little list of what it's going to take in addition to that grand slam concept. You need to have motivation or passion to do this. You need to be willing to experiment, and you need to be persistent. I guess if there was a fourth one, it would be to take action. And I guess persistence would be persistent action. If you have those qualities, then you'll make money online through email marketing. You need to have these qualities, though, in addition to the grand slam concept. If you can find it within you to, you don't even have to find it within you, because I know guys that are just so, they're so, well, I guess angry is not the right word, but they want to succeed, and they will, because I've seen guys that have had jobs and now they make big money sending mass emails. So it is possible. Is it going to happen overnight? No. Is it going to happen next week? Probably not. Next month? Well, I'll tell you. If you're motivated, yes, it will. If you're willing to experiment, experimentation is one key component too, because you can't necessarily do the same thing over and over and over again and expect some sort of different result. You have to be willing to play with the different techniques and tools that I'm going to be presenting and giving you here in order to find your path. And you have to be persistent at it. Now, I don't want this last segment of this video to turn into a lecture, but it was important for me to stress that, these are the keys to success. This is what is going to make it happen for you. One other factor that I do want to point out is nobody's going to walk your hand through it. I'm sure as heck, I'll try and watch my language during these videos. I'm sure as heck going to share with you everything that I know. All my experience all these years, and up to today, up until everything I've done. Like social email extractor, this course, this email extractor that I created was created out of passion because I couldn't find an email extractor that was good. And I became so frustrated. I printed out, I downloaded a book off of Pirate Bay, a torrent site. It must have been 300 pages. Printed it out, put it in one of these big white binders, and I read it. And programming's not easy. It really isn't. I wasn't a programmer before C. And the thing that made it successful was my personal persistence. I was angry. I used to stay up until 1 in the morning. I'd read a page over and over, these programming terminologies with the highlighter, the same page, until I got the concept, until I understood, because I knew how the program would work. I just needed to be able to program and do it. Speaking of which, I'm going to talk about different slight programming within this course, but don't worry. It'll be very, very basic stuff, and I'll explain everything step by step on what you have to do. If you want to get a head start, you can download a trial of Dreamweaver, because we're going to be looking at code with Dreamweaver for hiding your referrals, for creating, for the people that want the knowledge, for creating redirects or fake form logins. Like, well, I'm going to have a video dedicated to PayPal phishing as an example. And another program by Adobe called Photoshop. Both of these programs can be easily found on the Pirate Bay or any number of torrent sites. I think I talk about this a little later in the course, but if you do want to get a head start, you can Google Slick's Guide to BitTorrents. It's SLYCK. And that'll give you an overview of how torrents work and how you'll be able to obtain a copy of Dreamweaver and a copy of Photoshop. You won't need them right away, but if you do want to do sort of a step-by-step walkthrough, and I will be doing everything step-by-step, then you'll need those two programs. So, thanks again. I hope these concepts make sense to you, and I hope you take action. So, let's move on to the next video and begin.